And now where Ian Lee is standing by. Ian, you're following a couple of stories for us this morning, including the aftermath of protests in Belarus. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Anne-Marie. This story in Belarus shows the tenacity of people demanding change. Despite a police crackdown, protesters continue to take to the streets. On Monday, thousands of retired residents marched through the capital, demanding the resignation of President Alexander Lukashenko. A day earlier, tear gas, water cannons, stun grenades, even the threat of arrest couldn't deter demonstrators. But it has come at a price. The Ministry of Interior says police detained 345 people on Sunday. The unrest began in August after Lukashenko declared victory in the presidential election, extending his 26-year grip on power. The opposition says the election was rigged. Next, we are in Turkey, where 20 Saudi officials are being tried in absentia, along with 6 other defendants over the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. He was last seen in 2018 entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to obtain documents for his upcoming wedding, but he never left. Instead, Khashoggi was murdered and his body was reportedly dismembered and removed from the building. This sparked international outrage and placed blame on Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who was a target of Khashoggi's stories. Bin Salman denies he was behind the killing, saying it was carried out by rogue Saudi agents. Next, we have a Chinese mission to the moon. The Chang'e 5 spacecraft blasted off Tuesday to bring back rocks and debris from the moon's surface for the first time in 40 years. This is China's first attempt to retrieve material from an extraterrestrial body. It's a complex mission with thousands of maneuvers. Once the spacecraft rendezvous with the moon in early December, a robotic arm will drill a hole about 7 feet beneath the moon's surface and scoop up rocks. Scientists hope to collect roughly 5 pounds of material. China says the mission is part of its plan to eventually send a manned mission to the moon. Finally, we are in Australia, where the national airline is taking a bold step when it comes to the coronavirus. The chief executive of Qantas says international travelers will soon need a COVID vaccine before they can board the plane. Currently, the country requires passengers to quarantine for 2 weeks upon entering. Qantas is looking at the possibility of using a vaccination passport to verify people's details. No word on if domestic travelers will have to meet the same requirement. And Anne-Marie, this is an issue a lot of travel companies will face as they try to balance the needs of their passengers and business interests. And requiring a vaccine isn't new. For example, there are a number of countries in Africa that require a yellow fever shot before entering.
That way, it doesn't sound like such a huge ask. I remember when I visited Botswana, I had to get a bunch of shots that I never had before. I'm sure for some people it's going to make them super nervous, but I think it's a good point, Ian. Thank you.